What's up, guys? Marvelous Mark here, and I'm here to bring you my top 5 villains for the Walking Dead TV series. My number 5 is going to be Dawn from the hospital. Back in season 5, I believe she was in season 5. We got to see a little bit about her in the hospital because it was kind of cool to go back to Atlanta and just see the hospital and see how everything was basically turning out over there, because we only seen it Atlanta basically in the first season, and then after that we go onto the farm, to the prison, so we're totally away from Atlanta. But we go back to Atlanta and we see she's kind of a villain, and she kind of, I consider her as a villain. I don't know, some of you might see her as a neutral person, but she did have some moments where she was good, but then to me she was mostly bad, because especially what she did at the end of her story arc with Beth. Like she had Beth, she was trying to help Beth and everything like that. She made it seem like that, and then she got greedy basically at the end of, it was a season finale of season 5, Coda. She got greedy, and she wanted Noah back. She told Rick, you can't leave here without giving me Noah back, and we do an exchange. And Noah agreed to it, and then Beth overheard Dawn tell Noah she knew he would come back basically, and she killed Beth instantly right there. And after that, everyone knows that Daryl took Dawn's life. But Dawn, she's such a complex person. She's not just a normal villain. She has that good side and she has that bad side, and that really attracted me towards that character, because it was something different in The Walking Dead. We didn't have that in the comic series either, so we got to see something different and something new and fresh. My number 4 villain is going to be Garrett of the Termites. In the comics, they're called the Hunters, if you didn't know, but in TV series, they're called Termites. So Garrett, he had Martin, and he had a couple other people with him, a woman, and I think probably 2 other guys maybe. But Garrett, we had the story arc in season 4, the second half of season 4 started with the Terminus, and everyone, they thought it was a safe haven, that you go there and everything was good. And really on the outside, when you meet everyone, it is good. Everything's good. Nothing's really bad about it. But when you get to know these people, their deep, dark secrets, then it starts to freak you out, and you really wonder, are these people good or are these people bad? But there was a lot of people there that actually agreed with how the Termites did things around there, which they killed people. They would trick people into coming in so they could eat them, just cook their meat, and just like they did to Bob in season 5. Yeah, the 3rd episode, I believe. I don't remember. Four Walls and a Roof, I think that one was it, or maybe not. It might be the one before that, when they ate Bob. But like Garrett, we seen him in the finale of season 4, and I thought he was a pretty cool guy. He looked like that emo-ish type person, like just a regular type person, and he came off as a good guy. But then Rick started seeing like little things like the pocket watch of Herschel's and things like that, and it threw him off. And Garrett basically finally broke out of his shell and became that villain, that we were gonna have for the first few episodes of season 5. And he locked Rick and them in the train car A, which we see a lot of A in The Walking Dead, and like every season for some reason. I really wonder why. I don't know. I really don't know why. But Garrett is just is very different. Like in the comic book series, they killed off the Hunters easily. They were gone immediately. They instead of Bob, they ate Dell, and then after they did that to Dell, Abraham, all of them go and they confront the Hunters and they kill the Hunters instantly. But in the TV series, instead, AMC and Scott and Gimple, the showrunners, they extended it. They gave us a few more episodes to learn more about the Termites, and they gave us more of a backstory. And with Garrett, it's very different. So it was a good climactic ending for Garrett, and how they ended him and everything like that, getting his 2 fingers shot off and basically chopped to death, to pieces, just destroyed, So I really like Garrett. I thought he was a pretty cool villain for season 5, and that is my number 4. Alright, and then my number 3 villain is going to be the Governor. You cannot have any villain if you don't have the Governor in your top 5 or at least top 10 or anything like that. If you don't have the governor in there, like something is mentally wrong with you, because the governor was your villain from season 3 all the way to the second half of season 4, and he was absolutely amazing. He did everything that he could. Dave Morrissey, he did everything that he could for that role, and he really killed it. After I read the comic series, I could see the difference, and I could see why people won't like him, and some people, probably will like him because they toned him down a little bit. Maybe people like that kind of toned down governor, or they maybe like that vicious governor that we have in the comic book series. But in the TV series, we meet the governor. He's a good guy. He gets with Andrea, things like that, and then everyone. We finally get to see his dark side when he has the fish tank of heads, and we see his daughter too, which is zombified, and he keeps her in there because that's the only family he has left, and without her, basically, he when Michonne killed her, he turned to the dark side. Basically, he turned to the dark side, and that's what happened. That was the governor right there. He put on the patch. He totally went Rambo. He would kill people from other camps just to take their supplies and bring them back to Woodbury. He had his right hand man Martinez also. He was a good villain for a season and a half. He was really good, and him and Rick, the interaction. What was it? When they were in the shed, they were talking for a while. The interaction between him and Rick, the governor, he doesn't even seem fazed by Rick. Rick trying to be himself, trying to be the cocky Rick that he is, but the governor does not seem fazed with it. He just acts normal as he is, has a gun under the table too, so he's ready for anything to go down. But the governor would be my number 3 as a villain. He's just, you have to have him in there. You can't not have him in there. And Dave Morrissey, you did amazing in that role. You killed it. And it was awesome to see you back also in season 5 and the mid-season premiere when Tyrese died. It was cool to see him there too. Just Tyrese's flashbacks or his little visions that he was saying. So it was really cool to see Dave Morrissey as the governor. So that is my number 3. My number 2 is Shane. Shane, hands down, John Berthal killed that role. He did amazing. Just we've seen that season 1 all the way to the Better Angels in season 2. That he's just a man, like just seeing your friend turn to this person that you don't want him to turn to. But if you really think about it, Shane was right about the world. Like he knew before anyone ever knew what was going to happen. Like he knew, and now Rick is that person. Just imagine if Shane was still alive right now and Rick was still with Rick, and they had to deal with this Negan situation. Shane is the man you're gonna want to go to in these kind of situations. He's a soldier. He's Rambo. He is a warrior. He would do anything it has to take to protect what is his and what he loves. Just like with Lori and Carl. And with that, it was. I like the love triangle also between him, Rick, and Lori. It was different. It wasn't in the comic series. In the comic series, he was killed probably he was killed like in the first few issues. He died basically the same way how Carl killed him, but except he wasn't zombified in the comics. But in the TV series, he was zombified before Carl shot him. And Shane, he's just different. In 10 Miles Out, that episode, him and Andrew Lincoln, John Berthel and Andrew Lincoln, they have really good chemistry, and just them fighting, and I just like John Berthel. It's just he acted out this role very well, better than the comics, better than Robert Kirkman wrote it. And I really praise Frank Darabont, because that's when season 2 Frank Darabont was there, and season 1 too. Frank Darabont, you did an awesome job. You did good with Shane, and just having John Berthel portray him in such a different way from the comics. So yeah, guys, that's my number 2. And of course, I'm pretty sure all of you know that number 1 is Negan, because Negan is hands down the best villain. He is introduced in better way than any villain has ever been introduced in the Walking Dead series, at least. He kills your favorite character, Glenn, in the TV series, and he kills Abraham right off the back. He has this intimidation factor that you're scared to even be near Negan. Negan has so many followers, he has so many men, so many women, he has wives, he has just people are intimidated. He has communities afraid of him. Like he's just a different man that you don't want to mess with. It's like he's a mob boss. He's a mob boss with so many people just bringing him stuff. and he's just building to what he has already, which is cool, you know. And I like seeing that. And Jeffrey D. Morgan, he's doing amazing as Negan, and I'm really happy that he is staying as Negan. You know, he's not gonna switch up or like anything like that, or he just doesn't want to play Negan anymore. I'm pretty sure at interviews that I see of Jeffrey D. Morgan, he has fun playing Negan. So I'm happy that he's happy doing it. You know. And in the TV series, you know, we get to see him and Carl at the interaction, Chandler Riggs and Jeffrey D. Morgan interaction from the comic series. It's just like it's really awesome to see that like brought to life. You know, we probably never thought we'll actually see that, but now that we actually seen it, it's really awesome. And we see now we're going into All Out War. There's even more Negan that you're gonna be able to see. So Negan is just like my number one, hands down. Like I feel like you can't beat that. Negan is just a man to fear, something to fear, you know, something to fear. And just hearing his name in this TV series, people are frightened, and I see him like Negan. He's just a man you just don't want to mess with, you don't want to push over, because he will come back and haunt you. You know, it doesn't matter what you do, if you just steal food from him. He doesn't like rape. You seen that little rapey Davy, you know, like he killed him right in front of Sasha too, and he just has these awesome one-liners that Widow's guns are blazing, you know, like that. And Jeffrey D. Morgan, you're doing awesome. Negan is my number one. So yeah, guys, that is my top 5 for The Walking Dead's best villains of the TV series. Make sure you subscribe right here. There's gonna be an icon on this side right here, and make sure you subscribe, hit that like button, and come back and check back.